we recommend that you watch the movie before watching our episodes. Hi, welcome to yet another perspective. We are talking about Hera Fairy. Last time we spoke about the movie and its characters in terms of Freud's ego and superego. Swati, to take this forward, these three characters and everybody else in the movie is so light-hearted, jovial. Even that there's like a sense of fun even in their misery, right? The only serious character is the character of Kabira. So how does that character fit into this dynamic of the psyche as you explain it?
So if you look at the concept externally, Kabira is just an opportunity. Opportunity for which Baburao is exasperated and again says, why do you want to do it? Okay. Ghanshyam says, no, मैं फोन करके बोलूँगा आपकी ग्रैंडडॉटर किडनैप हो गई है, आप उसको बचा लीजिए. And then Raju comes up and says, क्यों ना हम एक खेल खेलें? We will earn money out of this particular thing. We will go save the child and we will do all of that. So he's just an opportunity. Now, in the Freudian terms, if you talk about it, it will be called the external reality. So a lot of times we are not able to progress, we are not able to look at opportunities because they are all there, out there, everything. But we are not able to find what works for us because our ego and superego themselves have not found a balance yet. So after they reveal to each other that all three of them are sad, aspiring, hardworking, and they have that whole drunken, whole drama song, they then come back and get a knock on their door. Kabira calling. Ye Kabira call is speaking mastana pe. So again, trying to bring in the comic element. But Kabira then becomes this external reality, which again, Id will say different things about it. Ego will say different things about it. Superego will say different things about it. But to function and make it happen, all three of them have to be on the same page.
Right.
If one is getting super excited, जैसे just the opportunity makes Baburao feel that he will be able to give back all his loans, he just calls everybody, right? And Id comes back and says कि गाय बेचारा खा रही है, तुम अभी से दही बेचने की बातें कैसे कर रहे हो? So here, whenever ego is very super excited, id and superego will come together to balance the ego. And whenever it is that id and superego are having conflict, they will have to use ego as the mediator. So the opportunity that comes with Kabira becomes very important. Right. It comes as a threat. You need to be scared. But because you're evaluating it from all the angles from your inner psyche, it just turns into a great opportunity.
Right. So as he said that Kabira is the opportunity in this scenario. We spoke about last time that there were a lot of internal conflicts between ego and superego. Do you think the character of Kabira was the one that sort of united the three, or was it something else?
No, it's the other way around. Because they were united, they could see an opportunity in Kabira. Right. If they wouldn't have been united, it would have been just one of those wrong numbers which came about and exasperation would have happened. Anything can be turned into an opportunity when our inner conflict is at rest. So that idea is what Kabira is about. The opportunity which is possible because all three of them. So whenever they are again in conflict, the Kabira opportunity is distant away. बट ये कबीरा का फोन है, मैं तो बोल देता हूँ कि बच्ची को मारना है मार डाल, काटना है काट डाल, right? So that part of it brings again all three of them together, and that's where the opportunity goes forward. So inner conflict has to be at peace to make the best in the outside world. A lot of us do it ulta. We try to just ignore the inner conflict and keep trying to climb the external reality ladder. That's also quite possible, fair enough, but there is a distance that you can go. Either if money is your objective, there might not be fair means to it. If being very principled is the objective, you might not get to do the things that you want to do because internally, all three of them have not found the meeting point.
Right. In the same scenario, what is the relevance of Deviprasad and the Superintendent of Police? What do they bring into the mix?
So Deviprasad is the conclusion of the whole film, right? it is what is the integration that we are finally looking at, or when we say that we have a very resolved inner psyche. What it means is, let us look and follow the character graph. He's somebody जिसने star fisheries में बहुत नाम कमाया है. So you are talking about somebody who was at a lower level and has grown. His children have not been shown. There's only a granddaughter shown, which simply means that he also has the maternal instinct and the parental love and care for the granddaughter. He's been shown mature enough that when he gets a call, we have kidnapped your granddaughter, that he goes into the room and checks, and he realizes that he shouldn't have the servant know about it, right? He has the courage that he could take the pistol when the superintendent comes into the picture and point it on his head and say कि मुझे सिर्फ अपनी पोती चाहिए, and he lets these people run away. And while that, he also has the patience to wait while these three men say that हम तुम्हारी पोती को बचा कर लाएंगे, this is our real identity, and he's able to trust them and not take any action but wait there. So with the superintendent, he took the action. With these men, he decided to wait there. And finally, when his granddaughter said, इन्होंने मेरी जान बचाई है, for him to just let go 40 lakhs like that, not trying to evaluate, saying, was it worth a 40 lakh thing? Should I ask them 20 lakhs back or something? वो पैसा तुम इनाम समझ के रख लो. That grace to be able to thank you in a manner that would really benefit them. Somebody who saved his granddaughter. So you're talking about somebody who's been shown with all characteristics. Right. So he's the only character which has been shown as a complete character.
Right.
That he has balanced out his inner psyche. The superintendent, if you go to see, in contrast to Kabira, would be the very high moral. So वो गलत काम करके पैसा कमाता है कबीरा, and ये मेरी ड्यूटी है करके I will do anything. That is what that superego is. Of course, real life के अंदर पुलिस, जैसे there is the scene जहाँ cycles जा रही हैं, पुलिस cannot shoot in such a place. Okay, it's not what it is. But our inner psyche can be very, very ruthless. It can damage our good parts quite a lot. It can shoot wherever, right? We can think so negative and bad about ourselves. So the superintendent is more like that. In trying to do the right thing, I don't care about the collateral damage that comes about, right? So that can be looked at as the superego, the principled person, and Kabira could be looked at as the opportunity which comes but with the wrongdoing, which does not come as an idea to Raju, saying I'll also kidnap, just as an opportunity, right? And Deviprasad is the conclusion of the film. Right. You want to reach कि अपनी मेहनत से अपने परिवार को प्यार करते हुए you've been able to still be gentle, respectful and courageous at the same time.
Right. So what I understand you're saying is that Shyam, Baburao and Raju are the internal parts of the self, and the other characters are the external part of the self, and the story is an interplay of the internal and the external parts, and how that sort of plays out when your internal psyche is either balanced or divided in the sense. We see that in different points of the movie, there are very few times when if we look at the three characters, they are united or integrated in a sense. When that opportunity, before that opportunity comes, when they're thinking about their sorrows and how they would want to celebrate their sorrows and their wins, and want to be together. Other than that, there has always been some divide or the other. Like initially, it was Baburao and Raju versus Ghanshyam. Then it was when the opportunity came, it was Raju and Ghanshyam against Baburao, where he was the weaker link in the sense. Then later, Ghanshyam and Baburao doubt Raju, saying that, oh, we should have never trusted him. He's not someone who will think about you twice. He must have run off with the money. Even after like all of, they've gone through the whole process, they've been able to pull off what they started out to do. It again gets divided. So, do you have any insights on that?
That yes, the inner psyche, once having found its ground, does not mean will always be like that. They will still characteristically be different, and with every situation, we will evaluate with their own kind of logic. Right? So, this inner dialogue will always constantly happen. For every decision to be made, आज खाना क्या खाना है? Your id will want to have something fun, okay, which would be okay to have junk also, okay. The ego will be looking at how much preparation time will I take and how much will I need for that. And the superego will say, am I being right to my health? Should I do this? Should I not do this? So, ये internal dialogue is constantly happening. They just need to respect each other, which is what happens as part of the second part of the film, because you know that you're on the same page. While you have different ideas, we can agree to disagree after we have the mutual respect. You can't start off with disagreements and then try to coexist, right? So the establishment of the harmony happened. Yet, characteristically, they will be different. So our mind will have dialogue every decision to be made. It could be something as simple as क्या खाना है, कौन से vacation पे जाना है, कितना money will give me security, anything. It will say something, ego will say something, superego will say something.
Now that we've spoken so much about the internal and the external, and how that is divided so clearly in the movie within its characters, there are some scenes that are coming to my mind. There are some scenes in the movie which are shot. There is a green window in Baburao's house, and a lot of the scenes are shot through that window, where you see the three characters behind and you get a glimpse of it through the window on the other side. And now that makes so much sense, because if we're saying that those three characters are the internal psyche of the being, we as viewers of the movie are given an external audience, we're given and a view of it in their mind. So that window makes so much more sense now. I don't know if that was literal, but that fits into this explanation beautifully. Also, the character of Deviprasad, I was viewing it as just a side character, but from your explanation, what I understand is that is the wholesome character, or that's the most integrated self we can be. And in a world where there are super moralistic elements like the superintendent of police, and there are bad elements like Kabira, characters like Deviprasad are still able to be that integrated psyche, even within those elements, balancing these elements in the external world. So this has been really great, Swati. There is so much more that we can talk about Hera Fairy, and we're going to be back next week with another topic from the movie. Until then, keep watching movies.